of Lent was that we were allowed to leave St. Charles Seminary for one afternoon. That was the day of the annual chest X-ray. Now, you have to understand this. There's close to 600 seminarians. None of us had cars. So that would mean that they would order from the PTC, the Philadelphia Transportation Company, which has now been subsumed into SEPTA, 12 buses with 50 guys on each bus. And you would depart from St. Charles to Fitzgerald Mercy Hospital.
At the same time, to the same place
You got
for a chest X-ray.
Now, there was a modicum of kindness that took place in this. They always let the youngest ones go first because we were not bound by the Lenten fast. Okay, so if you were in like first and second year, your high school kids, you were 16 to 18. The fast wasn't until 2021. When we were finished, those of us who were under the age of 21 descended en masse
to a bar for drinks.
To the snack bar, which was run by a lady named Mrs. Jonas, whose husband was the speech teacher here at St.
This is at the hospital.
At the hospital. So you would have these hungry seminarians who hadn't had real food since January 2nd storm in begging for milkshakes and hamburgers so we could at least have one decent meal during Lent. So we glowed in the dark, by the way, at the end. They didn't know back then that too much chest X-rays was actually bad for you. They discovered that afterwards, which was too late for us. But then you would come back and you were happy that day because you had actually eaten real food for one day during Lent. Other than the
theme I've heard is Lent was the best time for food here between the Sundays of Lent and the free day.
Ironically, yes. But if you're over 21, forget it.
Now, how about any field education? Go out to parishes, go out to assist in nursing homes?
None of that. There was no apostolate. That was part of the white paper. Yeah, there should be apostolate. So I didn't go out until like I was in my fourth college or something.
We went out in fifth year.
Okay.
My first was St. Agatha's.
So you're able to go to parishes in the fifth year?
Eight of us went to one parish. 8 guys.
Now, once again,
one class.
Remember, no cars. So here's a couple hundred seminarians descending on the Overbrook train station, all looking like an undertaker's convention, all in black suits. And we would get a 10-strip ticket because it saved us, are you ready for this, a dime. Because the fare to Center City was 30 cents. But if you bought the 10 strips, it was only $2.90. So you saved a penny on each one of the trips into Center City. So you actually would save a dime. And that's what so we all had our little 10-strip tickets, and one in and one out, so it would last you 5 weeks.
Was that you're going to the parish that had changed in the program, or was that always?
It was new.
It was new.
It was the whole idea. We called it the Apostolate.
Yeah, it was new.
So we went.
We were like rookies.
I taught third grade.
Everybody going to school?
Third grade
I
catechism.
taught like fifth graders.
The school in the morning, but then St. Agatha's had the blind home for women. It had the Presbyterian home. It had the Presbyterian hospital, Saunders home. So there were a lot of places we could visit in the afternoon. But it was a full day.
Yeah.
You went in the morning and you were back by
5.
5.
Yeah. Now, the first year I did visitation in Kensington, B in Lehigh. And then the next 2 years I was with then Father, then later Cardinal John Foley. I was assigned to work at the Standard and Times, so I became a writer.
As the apostolate?
Yes. So I was a reporter for the Catholic Standard and Times.
So you would have been one of the first reporters from the seminary?
I was. So
does Archbishop Foley know this when he was alive? That
he always called me his first apostle. I have a history of the diocese that we helped write for 2000, and I got him to autograph, and he said, "To my first apostle, John Cardinal Foley." Now, we were going, as I said before, to Villanova to get our credits, and we had all planned we would get so many credits, so many years, and then At the end of deacon year, we would be finished, and then priesthood into high school. But then they started with deacon summer assignments around 1969, somewhere around there. Okay. The deacons didn't go to a parish in the summer. They just went home and did nothing. And when they were here, they did nothing.
So they were ordained deacons.
They were ordained deacons and did absolutely nothing. They would sit in the pew for Mass. They were not deacons of the Mass. The only way you knew they were deacons was when it came time for communion. They would put their stole on when they received communion. Received communion.